G'day, welcome back to Dad vs. Son, and we're going on with Combat Commander Europe. Scenario 15, Armana Romana, using map 15, which is wonderful. So this is a fight between the Romanians and the Russians.
Here's your order, sir.
Thank you, thank you. That'll be all.
Right.
Okay, so looking at the usual, we're in 1941. Like we said, we're going to finish the 1941 scenarios, and that's where we're going to sort of quit for a while. So, situation report is Bessarabia, 7 July 1941. After forcing a crossing of the river Prut at Falsua, I can't pronounce it. Earlier in the week, the Romanian army was on the move across Bessarabia. In the afternoon of July 7, elements of the Romanian 6th Infantry Division attempted to clear one of the many Russian-held villages on the road to Mogilev. Due to the need for a rapid advance, the Romanian columns were lackluster in their scouting efforts. In this case, the town defenders were members of the elite 74th Rifle Division, which had just received a smattering of conscripted replacements to bolster the body count. Right. Okay, so the VP marker is in 12 on the Allied side. Time track is 0, sudden death 7. Troop quality is line for both. The Russians are defending with 3 orders, and the Axis are attacking with 5 orders. Yes, 5 orders, and the initiative is with the Axis. The only open objective is T, which gives every objective 2 victory points. The Allies in the Axis have a random one each, which I do not know what it is. Objective control is the Axis have objective 3, and the Allies have the rest. The Allies will set up first 8 hexes deep, and their side of the map is the southern edge. Axis will set up second, 2 hexes deep. Theirs is the northern edge, and Axis will take the first turn. So, special rules. Number 1, hidden units. Up to 6 Allied units and their possessed weapons may begin the game in the one space of the time track rather than set up on the map. If so, when these units enter play, they may be placed into any original setup hex, that is, up to 8 hexes deep, counting from the Allied friendly board edge, that has at least 1 cover and is devoid of enemy units. Okay, so these are because they're experienced and they are waiting. So what I've done is I have placed 3 guards rifles, squads, with Corporal Krylov and 2 light machine guns as our hidden force. And they're on the 1 track. The second special rule is reinforcing column. Up to 8 Axis units and their possessed weapons may begin the game in 1 or more spaces on the time track rather than set up on the map. So what I've done is I've set them up 1 mob on turn 2 and 1 mob on turn 4. And again, my reasoning for this is to just add a little bit of flavour. So I've taken it that what I have here is Corporal Radovic is bringing up the first of the support forces. So he has 3 Bergellari, I can't never say this, Bergellari, I don't know, 3 squads, and he has a light MG and a medium MG. Okay, so they're moving a bit slower because of the medium MG. And then on turn 4, we have the final, basically, heavy weapons platoon turning up with Sergeant Ravina, and he has 3 squads as well. And he has the other medium MG, and he also has a mortar. So that's why they're moving slower again. I'll set them up in a moment. Righto, so other than that, the Russians, this is what's left. They have Lieutenant Gulkevich. They have 6 rifle squads, 3 militia squads, and 2 medium machine guns. Okay, so this is the visible force. I have left the Romanians with effectively 2 companies here. Lieutenant Panini with 7 squads and an LMG, and Sergeant Ottolini with 7 squads and an LMG as well. Excuse me. And Objective 3 is up here. Sorry. Objective 3 is up here. This is the one that the Axis hold. So they'll be setting up in rows 1 and 2 after I've set up the Russians in anywhere from 10 to 3. Rightio. So it's going to be interesting, seeing as both forces will have reinforcements as such coming on the board. Okay, so I shall pause it there. I will set these forces up and then come back so you can do your normal giggle, and then we can get into the game. Rightio, so I've set them up. So to keep with the feeling of the scenario, the Romanians are coming in sort of fat, dumb and happy. So Lieutenant Pani is over here. He's got a squad with an LMG with him. He has command radius of only 1, so these are all he can control at the moment. Okay, and he's hiding in the forest a little bit. Sergeant Ottolini has command radius of 2, so he has command of basically everybody else, and he's been told to get in here fast. Okay, so that's why they are coming down the road. Half their people are out in the open, and they're good to go. The Russians. Okay, so the Russians only have 1 leader at the moment, and that is the lieutenant. So he's set up here, looking after Objective 1. And he's got a squad with a medium machine gun because basically they can cover most of the northern approaches. He also has another squad as backup in there as well. As usual, the new guys have been thrown to the wolves a bit, and they are the speed bumps. So I have a militia here, a militia here, and a militia here. Okay, so we're hoping that their dying screams is what will inform the rest of the company of what's actually happening. So I have them basically around the outskirt, and then in the village itself proper, I have a squad on the right flank, a squad with the medium machine gun to cover this area, which is basically blanked out from line of sight of the other medium machine gun. I've got this bloke down here towards the crossroads, so he can cover what he can cover. And then I've got another rifle up here to support this militia. Now, the way I understand it with cover, buildings, roads is if the dot, the center dot is on the building, then there is no penalty for the road going through. So if you're in here, you would get the full 3. If you're in this building, because the dot is on the open ground, then you'll get 2 because you lose 1 for the road. So this militia up here has got cover of 2, same as this rifle. This militia has cover of 2. This rifle has 3 because the dot is on the building just. That's the way I'm working it, okay? Right, so that is it. We're all set up. We're ready to go. And we just need to draw some cards. So let's do that. So Romanians get 6 cards for attacking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And of course they're using the Italian deck. And the Russians are defending with 4 cards using the Russian deck. And Romanians are first. Yeah, they are. Rightio. So let's see what they've got. And they have a fire, which is great. A recover, which is wonderful. A command confusion, which is not so great. A command confusion, which is not so great. A fire and a move. Right. So let's have a look at what they've got here at the moment. So we don't know what the Russians have got. The Russians could all be asleep. Okay. So what we could do is we could fire with some and then move with some. We need to get this mob especially into some form of cover as soon as possible. Okay? And we need to try and knock out what's happening. But of course, we've moved so fast and so far forward, we've left all our heavy weapons behind because, remember, this is a doddle. We're not expecting anybody to be there, for Christ's sake. You know, pesky, bloody Russians, they'll just wander away anyways. So let's see, what do we want to do? Okay, so we could use the move with smoke grenades. That would help a little bit. But I think what we want to do first is we want to try and clear this guy out. I don't really give a poo about this guy at the moment, but he's a speed bump. So, what to do, what to do, 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 do. I really don't know. It's I suppose realistically, I'm going to stick with what the scenario says, and the scenario says they walked in here fat, dumb, and happy. So I'm going to move. Okay, and I am going to move Lieutenant Penny. So these guys are waiting here to see what happens, and these ones are going to come around and try and have a look. So Lieutenant Penny organises to move, and he goes, this guy moves. And the Russians go, ooh, did I see something there? And they go, I may have, but I'm not real sure. So this guy has gone 1. He goes, 2, 3. And they go, well, was that something or wasn't it? I don't know. Let's keep an eye on there. So then his next guy moves, and he goes 1. And they go, oh, that could be. It could be. And he goes 2. And they go, oh, yeah, I can see something, but I'm not real sure about it. And he goes 3. And he goes, hey, we've got problems out here. And we go, shit, time to shoot. So they fire. And they fire with the machine gun over here. 1, 2, 3. So we're good. So he's going to fire for 6 plus 1 is there. And he is going to use crossfire. That's going to give him 8 into there. Plus 10 is 18, which is a damn accurate shot for the middle of the night for the first go. And the first thing that's happened is this guy goes, shit, incoming! Let's throw smoke. And he does. He throws smoke out in front of him before they can get a bead on him. And it was a damn good throw. Look at that. 7. So now they're only shooting for 11. Into here, and he is 7. And 6 is 13. So that was good. And he rejoiced. So he's gone 1, 2, and he's going to go into there. And they're going to shoot again. And they're going to shoot for 6, 7 plus 10 is 17. Minus 7 is 10. And they're going to use crossfire again. So they're hitting for 12. And again, he's sitting in there for 7. And 2 is 9. He's hit. And he goes, ouch. But he decides that, realistically, he'll take it. So that leaves the lieutenant now, and his other man here goes a 2, a 3, a 4, but nobody could see that. And now he comes up and he goes a 1 with him at the same time. A 2, and he goes, aha, I can see you. Why you're speaking of the silly German accent, I don't know, because he's a Russian, but he did. So he goes, ha, crossfire. So he's shooting for 6, 7, 8, 9, plus 2, and we've jammed it. He's fired too much. That's 11. Minus 7, he's only shooting for 4. And 6. No, what am I doing? He doesn't do that. He's only shooting for... Let me get this right again. He was shooting for 7. 8, 9, minus 7 is 2, and he did a 2. So, yes, he's only shooting for 4 into there. And the first guy is safe, and the lieutenant is very safe. And the sniper hit at E7, which is 5, 6, 7 down here, and did nothing. Right, so that is a 7, which eliminates the the Russian machine gun straight up. Okay, it was an old gun, and worn it out. It's broken. It's gone. So the Romanians at the moment have played 1 order and 1 action. But now they know there's fire in there. So they are going to retaliate. So they are going to fire as their second order. And they're going to activate the Sergeant Ottolini up here. Okay, so this guy cannot fire at anybody. This guy can. This guy can. So the only ones that these can fire at is him. So they're going to fire at him first. So it's going to be 4 plus 1 is 5 into here. Okay. And 7 is 12. And the event is draw 1 secret objective. Rightio. Let's have a look here. We go chunky. So, Romanian battalion has heard the gunfire and is rushing up their reinforcements as fast as they can. But they have come up with a cunning plan. And hopefully, when the other troops get there, they can tell Lieutenant Panny what that cunning plan is. Okay, so we're shooting in here for 12, and he's sitting there for 9. And 6 is great. So they're fired. These have all moved, so they cannot. And we don't have to worry about him or him. So now we have these ones that can shoot. Okay, and what shall we shoot at? Let's see if we can clear a couple of things here. So, let's go 4, 5, 6, 7 into here. think. What's this going to do? 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we'll do 4, 5, 6, 7 into here. So 7 plus 3, and we did not fire that at the moment. So let's hold 10, and this guy is sitting here for 7, 8, 9. So he's fine. And now we're firing with these. So it is 6, 7, 8 into here. Ooh, 19. And again, he's sitting there for 9. And the Russians do not have a card in their hand. So, no, he's hit. Righto. And that is all that they can do other than a recover. And they're going to hold the recover at the moment. Just to see what happens. So, Romanians are finished. They get 3 cards back. It is the Russians' turn. And the Russians have no cards. So the Russians get 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're back to the Romanians, who have 2 command confusions and a recover. And a fire, and a rout, and another command confusion. Right. So I think what we're going to do first is we are going to, again, fire. And we will activate the sergeant up here again. So he has control of everything up to including here. So these ones again will fire first into here. So it's 4 plus 1 is 5. Yeah, that'll do. So they have 5, plus 5 is 10, and he's sitting there for 7, 8, 9, so he's not too worried about that. And we get an event, which is Elan. Increase your surrender level by 1. So the Russian surrender level goes to 11. The Romanian surrender level is 17. So, yes, they're prepared to take a bit of a shellacking, that's for sure. Okay. So he's safe. So what we have now is, I suppose he could have shot into there too, couldn't he? I forgot about him last time. Idiot. Okay, so the first thing that's going to happen is I am going to nominate this guy here as the primary. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7 are going to shoot into here because they're in range of that. So they're going to shoot into there. So they have 7 and that's it. And they get an 11. So 18. It's a damn fine shot. Now, what do the Russians have? Anything to help, and they have a light wounds that they could use. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. We have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 against 18. Righto, so here we go. And we have 12 and 7 is 19, which is great. And the event is Hero. Yay! We've not already in play. Place the Russian hero in a friendly hex, and we can rally if we wish. Now, I'm not going to place the hero into here. I think that'd be pretty silly at the moment. So I'm going to actually place him in over here, like that. Okay, so he's good. Now we're going here for 9, 10, 11, 12. And he goes 7 as well, which is another event. Each player places one card at random from their hand into the discard pile. Okay, so shuffle up the Romanian cards. And they lost their recover. Ooh, yuck. So that leaves them with a rout and 3 command confusions. And now the Russians lose their move, which leaves them with a fire, a move, and their artillery request. Rightio. So, fired, 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 fired. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fire with this one and this one, yeah. So it's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9 into there. And 9 and 7 is 16. And the event is Scrounge. Return an eliminated weapon to play under your control. So they have found our medium machine gun, and they were a bit smarter than us, and they fixed it up. And they're bastards like that sometimes. So what are they going to do with it? And I think they're going to put it right there. Righto? So they're hitting into here for 16, and he's sitting there for 5, 6, 7, and there's nothing he can do. 7 and 7 is dead. So there we go. 2 points. So we're down to 10 VP for the Russians. And that's only the first order. So what else are they going to do? Nothing, because they've got 3 command confusions and a rout. And the only thing to rout is them. So yeah, they're not worried about that. They get rid of that card and get 2 more. And the Russians now have a fire, a move, and an artillery request. So we are going to fire, and we are going to use crossfire, and we're going to fire. Ooh. We're going to fire over here. So we're going to fire for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can't quite reach there with him, but we can with that. So we have 7 plus... Oh, they weren't moving. Forget about crossfire. So we have 7 into here, and that's all. Plus 8 is 15. And they are sitting here for 7, 8, 9. Minus 1 is 8. They have a light wounds they can use if need be. So they have 8 and 8 is 16, which is fine. And this guy's sitting here for 8 minus 1 is 7. And 12 is 19. And they are fine. Which means we go to time 1. And all the hidden Russians can now come out. So the Russians get 1 VP. We redo this shake, rattle, and roll. Okay. There is no sudden death. The defender has gained 1 VP. There is no smoke, except for this one. And it goes and wafts away, leaving that little man out there in the open. We'll set up the reinforcings, and then if we want the Romanians, can use a dig-in. I'm just throwing cards around for the fun of it. Okay. Rightio. So, setting up these guys. So we have 3 guards squads, Corporal Krylov, and 2 LMGs. Okay. So at the moment, everything is coming from here. I'm dum dee doo. Okay, I'm going to put a guards unit here with an LMG. I am going to put a guards unit here with an LMG. I am going to put a guards unit here, and I'm going to put Corporal Krylov here, like that. Yeah? That's good. Okay, so we do that, and then the Romanians can use their dig in. And where shall we dig in, they say. And I suppose, realistically, what they're going to try and do to start with is they're going to dig in up here, because they really don't want to lose the sergeant. The sergeant has got his people starting to dig in. The lieutenant over here is still panicking a little bit. Okay, so we have fired into there. Sorry, we have fired into there and nothing happened. So we have a move if we wish. And I think that would be a good idea. So we're going to move, and I'm going to move the hero and this militia here, and they're going to go a 1 to there, and they can move a total of 3. So that's 1 to there, a freebie. The Romanians do not have a fire card. That's 2 to there, that's 3 to there. Like that. And that's all they can do. And they get 3 cards, or 1, a 2, a 3, and it is the Romanians' turn, and we will stop there and come back to it. The Romanian turn is going to be really, really quick. Okay, but we'll come back to it. Rightio. So that's our first bit of action, and the Romanians have been a little bit surprised, but they've weathered it well. They haven't lost any troops. The Russians have lost a squad and a machine gun, which the Romanians have picked up somehow. And yeah, it could be very interesting because there's a lot of good troops to come on for the Romanians. Okay, so enjoy, have fun, laugh, giggle, and I will